It's time for the top 5 setups of August 2022. So if you look at the NASDAQ, the market had a nice start to August. It was in a very clean uptrend above the 10 SMA, but then it fell off and had a sharp decline to end the month. So it was very tough to find setups during this time, but we're going to look at the top 5 that I could find and see if you guys agree with me or disagree, and then let me know in the comments. All right, kicking off number 5, this is ALDX. Now, this stock had a very powerful move around earnings here, and off the bottom, it made around an 85% move here, and which was not bad. It was very clean above the 10-day, very powerful. It's above the 200 SMA, and it starts to get very tight through here. So as we can see, it only came down from the top around 7%. Like, this held so well. Now, if we keep looking, it continues to get tight, kind of makes a range through here, and then we get a very nice gap clean out of this range. So this was a good setup in my opinion. We were watching it in the Discord and on the newsletter, so sign up for those if you're not already. And this thing had a very nice breakout day. Now, we're in a bad market, so what happened next is it came straight back down and failed. But this was a clean setup and a clean breakout, one that in a bull market we would always want to take. Now, if we look on the weekly, this is why. It had a very good weekly chart. So nice, clean move all the way up for about 2 years, just going straight up. Then a nice, clean downtrend, and it started right back up, but it has failed. So maybe it'll set up later for us, but that was number 5. All right, number 4, we have AXSM. Now, this was an EP setup through here. We had a nice clean range, almost flat 200 day, and then we get a crazy volume day here. So this was not on earnings, but it must have been some news or something came out, and this thing gapped up, as you can see here, around 20%. So this was a very nice EP in my opinion, and since then it has done a very good job. It went up around 32% before pulling back, and it closed below the 10-day probably today. So it'll be around a 16% move at your, the second half position and 30% for the first half. So not a bad trade. And coming in at number 3, we have ALT. So this stock makes a nice move off the bottom, around 200%, just straight up above the 10-day. Then it starts pulling back and chopping around. Now, this one was harder to see. Now, we were watching it, but it was just not the cleanest setup. There were a lot of things breaking out this day, so I missed it. Some of the boys in the Discord missed it. Some of y'all caught it, though, and it was been very good ever since then. We got a nasty shakeout, but it bounced above the 50-day, continued to making some tighter days, some higher lows through this range. Then the breakout day was very nice. It was on earnings, so a little bit riskier, but it had a very clean reaction to earnings, and then it's just been straight up ever since then. So this has been probably one of the best movers so far. Not the cleanest setup, but a very good reaction to the move. So it is still up 57%, has not closed below the 10-day, so this thing is still going. Very nice trade if you took this. And number 2, ALDX. So this thing has been very good to us. If you watch the channel, you know that I took this trade. So it was up around 130-something%, and it got tight right above the 200-day. I do like to play these when they get above the 200, and it just had a very clean consolidation, stayed above it, and then a clean gap on the breakout. So you would enter on this day, and you would have been off to the races, and it's kind of setting up again. So keep your eye on this one, guys. It would have been nice if it took off yesterday, but it didn't. Faded back down. But yeah, this was a very good trade, very clean entry, a low risk trade. You had a very nice tight stop, and it closed below the 10-day around 32%. So very good trade in a bad market. And now for number 1, we have RITM. So this thing made a very explosive move off the bottom, up around 240% in like 2 weeks. And so all eyes were on this, and we were hoping that it kind of consolidated, either gave us a couple more tight days or came back to the 20 or both, but it didn't. It gave us one tight day here, and it broke this range, and it's been just straight up ever since. So this setup would have netted you around, let's see, the first close below 10-day, around 70% on the second half of your position, and probably around 30 to 40 on your first half. So very nice trade. So yeah, this was the best trade that I saw this month. And the bonus trade is BBBY. Now, me and my friend Kyle traded this one, so hats off to you, Kyle, for catching this as well. Now, this was a very nice mover. As you can see on the hourly chart, put in a decent range, and it went straight up after that, and it made around 140% move before it came back down and closed below the hourly at around, let's see, around 80%. So very good trade, a little short-term trade. So I'm gonna do these videos every month, and for next month, I'm gonna be showing off who had the best trade in the Discord from the month. So if you're in the Discord, send me your best trades next month, and if you're not in the Discord, join us and see if you can get the top trade. Like I said, this month's top trade goes off to Kyle for catching the Bed Bath & Beyond trade. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see y'all in the next one.